Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2024. This is part 8 of the Port Vale save. We've already played 2 friendlies where we beat Salisbury 4-0 on the 8th of July, and on the 11th we've beaten Kidderminster Harriers by 4-1. Today on the game is the 15th of July and we are going to be at home to Kettering. So the first thing we need to do is set up our team. This is the team left over from the last game. So let's go into our squad. First of all, we'll see if we got anybody that's pretty much going to be injured and not be able to play. But all of our players are only on for 45 minutes anyway. Right, so he wouldn't be playing anyway, but he's injured. We got our new signing from Leeds United, but he's on holiday and he won't return for a while yet. It says return on the 20th, but is delayed due to the UEFA Under-21 Championship. And the problem one that we have got that is injured, and he's going to be out for 10 days to 3 weeks, is Gavin Massey. And of course he would happen to be on the right hand side of midfield where we are very, very short. I do need to find somebody for that position, even if they're just going to be an under-21 player that just comes in from time to time. Right, so let's look in our goalkeepers. We know that George Wickens is going to start. We know Connor Ripley will be on the bench. Yep, they're in position already. The DL, that hasn't changed. That's Mitch Clark and Dan Jones. And our new player here won't be able to play today. So we're going to have Kofi Barmer and Nathan Smith. That's going to be our usual setup at the back there. And on the bench, Deborah and Lewis Cass. I may as well leave there. He is wanted at the moment by 245 clubs, and I have transfer listed him. So no change in the DC. For the DR for this friendly, we have Jason Lowe, Thomas Sang, and there won't be no change in that. Do look at Thomas Sang from time to time because he is training for that position. Is accomplished at the moment, but we will put him as number 1 in that position if he can get to natural ability. Moving on to ML. This is going to be Connor Grant, and I think Jack Shorrock is going to get his place back. I'm just going to change him over for Gavin Massey now, but Shorrock will take the place of Ellis Taylor on the left. Ellis Taylor can play on the right. This is why I got him in, because he's a dual left and right midfield player. Not great on points, but he's always going to be useful. So you can see that Jack Shorrock is back in the side, the youngster. Now, centre of midfield, Ojo and Garrity, that's our normal pairing, and Divine and Arblaster on the bench. Then Chislett will start on the right, and Ellis Taylor will be on the bench, and he will come on at half time for Chislett on the MR, unless anything goes wrong before that. And up front, we have Ikpeazu and Josh Thomas, which are already in the team now. And on the bench, it's going to be James Wilson and James Plant. So that's about it, I think. Yep, that's the team sorted out. And we're now going to go for our third friendly of the season. So again, I'm expecting to win this friendly by at least 3 goals. And everyone's happy again. I'm glad they are. Right, into the dressing room. We're favourites and we should be winning this comfortably. I don't like putting anybody under pressure, but that's what we need to be putting. So that's the Port Vale side. We're now approaching kick-off. And let's see if we can manage another win, but an impressive win. And between this game at the end and the next fixture, I will be looking again to try and bring some players in. But this time I'm going to have to drop down on points. I think we're just going to have to look to fill some spaces, because MR is really, really looking terrible. And that's, that was off the post there from a header from Grant. And that was the first effort of the game 3 minutes in. Yeah, so we still need to get some fresh faces. So I will look at some freebies. It won't be great players, but as I said, they will fill gaps. That's a good cross. And it Ikpeazu there straight into the keeper's arms. So we've already had 3 shots, just 6 minutes gone. If you're going to set your game up, remember the friendlies at the start of the season. Have a look at what kind of a squad you've got first, whether you think you should be playing teams higher than you or the similar. Because when I looked at the points here, it was a case of dropping down leagues to, just get fitness in and try and learn the new system. So just using teams from the National League North was what we needed to do to start with. And that's a great goal. Connor Grant, early goal, 8 minutes gone, Port Vale 1, Kettering Town 0. So whether we survive in League One is another thing, but we have won the 2 friendlies in the kind of scores that I wanted to win. So maybe we will survive in League One. I know it could be famous last words, but I do think we most probably can survive. But we've got 7 loan players at the moment. There's another one coming from Tottenham, if he signs, of course. So when you've got 8 loan players in your team, only 5 can start. And I say start, that's including reserves in any fixture. So you can only have 5 players on loan in your squad at one time. So 3 must sit out, but I do rotate a lot. So this mostly won't be a massive issue. But to get these players in the positions that we need, like MR, maybe another ML, maybe a few in different positions, these will not be loan players. They will have to be players that most probably not connected to any, not contracted, I should say, to any team. And looking at free agents, I think as long as their potential takes over 383, then I wouldn't mind bringing them in. So back to the game, and Grant has the ball at the moment. That's a good ball forward. And he shoots and scores. It's Ushi Ikpizu. And that makes that Port Vale 2, Kettering Town 0. I did forecast around maybe a 3 to 4 goal win here. And 2-0 after 18 minutes is a good start. So we've got another few friendlies after this, or 4 after this. And they gradually get a little bit tougher as they get towards the end, because we need to play League One opposition to see if we're good or not. And it Pisa again. Header, but the keeper gets it this time. 21 minutes gone. If anybody knows of any free agents on the game, if you're playing the same sort of league as I am, you know, any free agents that you think possibly could be good in a Port Vale team that have some decent attributes, then just drop a comment. And there's the third. Jason Lowe, Grant with the corner in, Jason Lowe on the end. Port Vale 3, Kettering Town 0. I was expecting this score at the end of the game, not halfway through the first half. But this is our best team that we always put out in the first half, and then we put a sort of a second string out in the second. Give everyone 45 minutes every game. But if we can get this young Tottenham player into our squad, he looks quite good as a striker, and we do need somebody else in that position. Yeah, so if anyone's got any ideas of some players that might be on a free out there that haven't signed for anybody yet, because we are moving slowly 2 weeks past the start date here. It's a good save from the keeper that time. I think they needed it. But there's a lot of greens here to say that we've got a lot of players that are performing well out there. Grant's going to take this corner again. And it's headed away, but only far as Thomas. And Kettering must be getting worried where they're going to get battered here. And it's good to have bought a lone goalkeeper in George Wickens' class from Fulham. But when we're playing teams like this, he isn't really getting much to do. I need to see him in a bit of action. Beginning to pass the ball nicely now. It's a very good team effort here. But even though Conor Grant has put the ball in the back of the net, he's also got 2 assists in this game. And Nick Pizu there, this header's wide of the goal. He's definitely played well in all the friendlies we've had so far. "13 shots to 1 at the moment. 6 of those have been on target. 5 corners to 1. And 58% possession, just gone to 59, and 41 to Kettering Town. And you can see down the bottom the way the condition is changing on some of these players. That's why I just like to give them 45 minutes in the first half and then bring a new team on for the second half. But as we start to go through the season, you will see the way that I rotate the squad, and I'll show you how to do all of that as we approach. And another thing we do as well, we've started roughly from the 1st of July. We update the attributes and the points every 3 months because some players that are older can decrease in points, and some young players, even though I averaged them out at roughly 9 points potential per season, you could get the odd player that could go up by 30 in a season and make a lot of difference. So when it comes to the 1st of October, that will be another episode where you just see all the players' points. Maybe not change, but your 1 or 2 could go up or down. And it could make a difference to whether they're playing in the side or not. So we're approaching half time now, and we've got a 3-goal lead. We'll go to the dressing room. And let's have a look. We're doing brilliantly. Keep going. And the tactics. This is where we're going to change the whole of the squad. Ripley will come on for Wickens. And Jones will take the place of Clark. Deborah for Barmer. And Lewis Cass will be leaving the club at some point. And that's for Nathan Smith. Thomas Lang is going to come out on the right of defence for Jason Lowe, who played well. And Shorrock back in the side again after the Massey injury. Alfie Devine, another great player we've got there. Another loanee there coming on in Oliver Arblaster. And another one coming on, this is Ellis Taylor. So you are limited in a proper fixture to only 5 of those that can be in the squad at any one point. So that's where it's all going to get a bit difficult. Right, so that's the whole of the squad change for the second string. Go back into the dressing room, we'll see that that's all been wrapped up. And we're going to start the second half. So Kettering Town get us underway. And there's all the changes coming up on the screen. If you've been watching the friendlies, let us know who you think your best player is, who I've got there at the moment. Fine with the free kick. The header's over the bar. That's the first effort in the second half. 16 shots to 1 at the moment, so we're doing very well in that department. Corner, Thomas Sang for Port Vale. Floats it in, it's on the head of Jesse Debra, and that's 4-0. Great header, keeper had no chance. But we don't get carried away because of the lowly opposition. I think they came out of the National League North last year. I don't know if they got relegated or not. Kettering. That's why I was expecting 3-0, maybe 4-0. Good shot from Platt there, but he was forced to go on his own. And because this is the second string that I've put out, I'll never expect too much, which tells you squad in depth needs to be stronger than what we've got. And for some reason I didn't see there, but Ellis Taylor, good cross into the box. I thought the flag had gone up for offside, but there's a penalty here to Port Vale. And Alfie Devine, another great penalty. He scored one in an earlier friendly. And that's Port Vale 5, Kettering Town 0. So just under half an hour still to play. If I had to look for a player within the squad that doesn't play that often, is there anyone that you out there that would think of retraining as a midfield right as with that short? That's a good ball forward from Kettering, but it's intercepted by Dan Jones. And that's away. Let's see us build from the back. Yeah, if I can find any players like Shaw, only 269 points, but very young, could possibly get to 373. It might be the type of player that I could do with looking at. And again, great crossing there. Oof. Thomas Sang, back to Ellis Taylor. It's deflected, and Ellis Taylor will get that goal on loan from Sunderland. But as I say, the points haven't made a lot of difference. He's playing well out on the right here. But at least the last thing I want to see happen there is get him injured. But I think I'll find that whenever he plays, he will always be substituted, I would think. I think the maximum he could play is 45 minutes per game, because I never know if I'm going to need him on the left or the right. But it's Port Vale 6, Kettering Town 0. The corner, Thomas Sang for Port Vale, crosses it for a header there. James Wilson is another one who's been injured a bit. Cass, disappointing there, but he knows he's on his way out of the club. And that's a good move down this left-hand side for Kettering. And a good save from Ripley. Don't want to see us getting complacent in any game. I don't even like conceding. Ripley holds on to the ball. "79 minutes played. But whereas I didn't expect a great performance in the second half, I think they've done equally as good. Everyone's improving. Platt from a long way out again tries his luck. So yeah, 3-0 at half time, and 3-0 again in the second half brings that to 6-0. 21 shots to 3. We've had 14 corners to 3, and the possession is back to that 59% over 41. Ryan, he tries his luck as well from a long way out. mistake there in defence. Kettering, that ball's gone over the bar, must have taken a slight deflection somewhere, and it's another corner to Port Vale as there's 5 minutes on the clock. So it's been a hard lesson learned for Kettering today. I don't know what we've actually learned from it, but to score 6 goals must tell us that we're most probably good enough for League One at some point. And I've been impressed with the way they've played today. 2 assists by Thomas Sang as well. So if I can get him to train natural in his position, he will go to number 1. So just the 1 minute's been added on for injury time. That may be our last chance. And that's it, the whistle has gone for full time. And Port Vale 6, Kettering Town 0. Yep, a win and a good performance. That will do, well done. Before I think about even moving the game on any further, we'll just get to the inbox. Valiants meet expectations in dominant win. I'm just going to save the game as, and this is going to be Port Vale 8 as we are in part 8 of the save. And I'm not going to run the game on to the next friendly because I want to try and see if I can sign anybody at all that has nothing to do with loans. So into the scouting, tells us we've still got 3,560, but I think that new player that I'm looking at from Tottenham here, which is Jamie Donnelly, can't remember how much wages I'd offered him now. It could have been maybe 2,000, 2,500, maybe as much as that. So we've still got 1,000 in the wage budget, and we will have a look. I haven't touched any of the transfer budget, and obviously we've got players still going out of the club. We've got a couple there. Just have a look at these, what we've got that have been mentioned by staff. I mean, there is a right midfielder there, but he's already on £8,000 a week at his club. I have no intentions of going anywhere down that road. Phil Jagielka. So there's no one really there that I'm interested in. We'll go back into players, transfer. I most probably have to add this up to around 25 now to give us more of a chance. Just for the MR. And I suppose if I want to pay for somebody, I'm going to have to set that transfer value. I'll set it for 70. We've got 70. I don't want to head out any more than that. But you can see there's only 2 players that would be interested to come for transfer that are worth any money at all, and one's at Bradbury, which doesn't look any good. So it will be somebody, I would think, on a free transfer. And you can see when you just keep hovering across, there just isn't anybody good enough, but I can't afford to go and get another loan player. Mary Brown, I've had him before at lower league clubs. Yes, he's okay for them, but he'll be out of his depth here. But whether he would just be okay as a backup, I don't know. We can't afford to have nobody. I'm just going to go through the rest of these. There's not many to go through anyway. And you can see how poor the rest of these free agents are. No one good at all, and I've just got 2 more to look at. So absolutely no one there. I'm going to have to delve in a bit further, see what I can do. But other than that, that's going to be the end of episode 8 for today. So we've won 3 friendlies from 3. We've got Macclesfield next. We then go to bring Ilkeston to us. Then we've got Shrewsbury, Carlisle. And those 2 there will give us a little bit of a test to tell us how good we are, because these don't tell us nothing. This just gets me the players together and playing well. Right then, so thanks for watching. If you want a spreadsheet of the game so far, just have a look in the comments. You'll see an email address there. You can just send me a message and I'll send you a free one. And if you haven't subscribed, do that to the channel for me and leave a like and a comment. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back for part 9.